Hi everyone, welcome back to our BPA Talk. Now it's time for part 3, where we try to show you how you can connect all the things that we have shown you before and create the end-to-end customer journey. As we said, this is the third part in our BPA Talk sessions. Don't forget to check out our two videos before. The first one will try to show you a little bit how this actually is mission critical for your enterprise. And the second part, where we try to show you a little bit how you can use all these methods to deflect the calls or the interaction coming into your contact center or support. So please check out the first two videos. Now let's continue with the third part. And as I've done before, I like to create an output for each video, and here is the output of this video. This is actually, the meaning of this is to show you how you can utilize the combined power from the RDA and RPA in a BPA process for your enterprise. So let's look at the different criteria one more time. We have the RDA. This is where the robotics are totally controlled by humans and they are monitored all the way in the processes. Here we can actually help to guide, steer, or automate some of the processes for the agents and help with a lot of things by integrating where it's needed. If we look at the RPA, here is actually the robots are in control. They're working totally in the background, totally automated, working in a queue-based function. That helps to actually automate entire manual processes and that otherwise would be handled by an agent. We use powerful integrations to all the applications needed in order to build the process. If we then look at the BPA that we're going to talk about today, this is where we actually combine the two. We have the RDA starting with, but it's being taken over by the RPA and so on. But when we bring these two different things together, that is what we actually can create the end-to-end journey for the automation and also for the customers. We bring the backend out to the customers. We'll talk a little bit more. I will show you an example a little bit later. So you all know this picture. I've shown it twice in the videos before as well, but I really like this because it's showing a little bit how you can actually combine everything. If we look at the left-hand side, this is where actually the RPA is really good, connecting all the IT services, bridging them and so on. But now we're moving more and more out to the agents when we talk about the RDA, where they can use all of this. But if we combine all of this, we can actually sidestep a little bit about the agents' work that they need to do manually. Because if you take the things that we have taught the RPA before in the background, and we combine that with the RDA for the customers, we connect everything end to end. We start with the customers doing the work that actually the agent was doing before. We transfer that back to the back office or the backend system and creates all the things that we need to create there. So in some sense, we are bypassing the agents in this scenario, but we're also freeing up that time for the agent to actually do the most value-bringing interactions with the customers, where we actually need to have that competence to the fingertip feel and so on. So to combine everything, you can actually control or monitor all the different spaces that we see here: analytics, the marketing, the back office, the sales, front office, yes, you name it. You can actually connect everything if you use the full scope of BPA. Here's a little video showing and illustrating the things that I'm talking about, the different things of RDA, no, actually from manual to RDA to RPA to BPA. So let's start the video and see what this is about. This is an agent having a GDPR question, doesn't know the process or the skill set to do it. So he takes the opportunity to ask the assistant, the RDA, in this matter. So I have a problem with GDPR, help me. Okay, what exactly do you want help with? Get an interaction with the assistant. The assistant now also checked the knowledge database in, okay, is this scenario that he's talking about or what is it? Also puts in some follow-up questions in order to actually determine the right process to start for the agent. So this is the interaction between an agent and the RDA. And now the assistant has more or less all the information. Imagine if we would have done this manually, and you will see that there is a lot of things to remember, a lot of things to log into, to put data in and so on. So this is the RDA taken into the RPA now. This is in the background, fully automatic. So now it's going through all the things, but the agent is still monitoring what is happening, get some questions back. Is everything good? Is everything done? Do you want me to do something else to send this confirmation to the customer? So this is the RDA part talking to the BPA part. But what if we could do this with the BPA where we think end to end? Why not push all of this process all the way out to the customer? Because if the customer wants to be removed, as in GDPR, from all the systems, why not do it fully in the customer's hands? That will lower the customer effort. It doesn't have to write an email, wait for that to get the response, and so on. Here you can fill in the information right on the website, right in the email, or every channel that you want to use. So this is actually where you put everything together and push it out to the customers. That creates the end-to-end solution. If you look at the different benefits that you get from the different parts of the BPA, we see that with the RDA, the one for the agents and so on, we see that we can actually lower the AHT, average handle time, for each call or interactions by either guiding or steering, and sometimes automate the process for the agents, of course. We also see that with the first time right with the interactions is a lot higher. That creates a lot more customer satisfaction because you get it right the first time. You don't have to call in once more. You also get flexible staffing because you can actually override some of the barriers that is between different areas in a customer support center. If I don't have the knowledge, but there is a long queue, I can, with the assistance from the RTA, actually perform the actions needed in that process. We also see that we get a lower training time because we can assist the agents in the work, in the process. We can guide them. We can show that, hey, you have forgotten this field. This needs to be filled in. We can highlight a lot of things that they need to say to the customers in different areas in the process. So there's a lot of things that you can actually do with the RDA. With the RPA, we can actually shift the focus from doing all this manual work into actually taking care of the right interactions with the customers as an agent, the most valuable one that we need to have, as I was talking about the fingertip feeling. We can also lower the customer effort, as I showed you before. If we transfer a lot of the work that is done by the agent, we can actually transfer that to the customer instead, and they do the work. And as we have seen in previous videos, we see that over 90% are eager to actually do this themselves if we can provide with a really good tool or interface where you can do it themselves. We can connect all the applications. Since we have it stored in the backend, we can actually tap into that with the RDA out to the customer as well and transfer the data all the way. We also get agent satisfactions. No agents will ever say that, okay, all of this manual work, typing, shifting data from one application to another is fun. They want to do these really complex things with the customer and try to solve the difficult errands and so on. So when you connect all of this, you connect all the processes, then you open up a really big variety of processes that you can connect and create end-to-end solutions. Also connects all the benefits that we see before, and that's really good. It's also boosts the customer experience in all channels because it gets easier, more effortless for the customer to solve it. There is a lot of things that you can benefit of creating one processes, one end-to-end journey. And as we see here, we have talked about it before, and there is a lot of gains in using all of this. In the first one, we can see that we add the RDA, we get a lower handling time, but if we connect that to the RPA and connect it to the BPA, you can actually lower everything. All of these 5 minutes, 7 minutes, it will be gone in some of the interactions because that would either be taken care of the customers themselves or it will be taken care of in-house without any human interactions on the cases. So there's a lot of benefits of connecting everything into one process. So I've been working a lot with the processes connected to the RPA, BPA, RDA, you name it, all of these applications. And here are some tips from my end moving forward, and where I have maybe gone into some pitfalls and outside of the track sometimes, but I have learned from that lesson, and here are some of the tips that I have taken with me. So involve the agents really early in the process. They have all the knowledge, they have all the secrets that you need to create the best process. And some of the vendors out there will say that no, IT is actually needed in your enterprise, but I think differently. Invite IT early. In some of the cases, they will say, hey, we can do this ourselves. Absolutely, go ahead. They will return to you and they will want your help before. But in almost all of the cases, the IT is needed to open ports, to open things, to really aid you in your quest to creating the end-to-end journey. So invite them early. Involve customer is possible. That is probably one of the most strongest one, because if you have their voice, their choice of doing this process, you can actually adapt really, really good to their environment. So if you know that, have that insight, go for it, use it. Have all the data before, because one of the most biggest pitfalls is that when you do a process, you think that you have everything, but you have missed a lot of data. That can change the entire process. So try to have everything ready in the beginning. Map all processes in detail. Crucial, crucial, crucial. Do a deep dive. Take help of someone that knows the processes and things outside of the box, if anything can happen. Everybody can do a happy flow in the process. That's the most easiest one. But in the real-time world, there is no happy flow. There's always variations coming in place. Take all in consideration when doing this mapping. And include all channels. All of the applications that I have showed and the things that we bring works in every channel, so works really good and connects them in a really good way. So don't minimize it to one channel, maybe in the beginning, but have it in mind that you can use it in all channels. Follow up. One of the things that I have noticed is that when we implement something, they say, okay, I don't see any difference, but we have cut maybe 50 seconds up to 2 minutes in every call. Why don't we see that in the numbers? If you don't follow it up correctly and you really use that time that you were saving in a different way, then it would just disappear in the big chunk of data that you have. So try to pinpoint and try to monitor it every week and as much as possible to see the results. And the one that is really most important maybe is that you need to aim big with these solutions that you have, because it can do a lot for your company. But you need to act small. Don't go for the biggest processes in the first time. Don't go for the most complex one in the beginning. That will be harder. Go with the low-hanging fruits, make them visible, use that time into creating the more bigger processes. And in the end, you will actually have been created a really, really good BPA process, end-to-end customer journey. So again, if you just remember one thing from this session, aim big, but act small. That will help you in the end. Hopefully this sounds interesting to you, and please check out the other 2 videos. And if you have any questions or are interested to know more, just contact us in the email below, and I will respond to all of you and also connect as soon as possible. Thank you very much for watching these videos, and stay connected in all the media that we have tonight. And don't forget to check out our new website. It's really cool. Thank you very much. Stay safe. Take care. Bye-bye.